Okay, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, we're going to turn up the volume on our background just a little bit so that you can hear. This is a conversation that happened yesterday, the August 9th, 2017, with the California Registrar's office for the Secretary of State location, the capital, Sacramento. And you'll hear the guy and you'll hear our conversation. I don't want you to pay too much attention to why the conversation is. I want you to pay attention to what's being said and how the individual is mentioning certain things and how I am checking him at every point. And how he mentions about the change of identity with reference to the certificate of live birth. Shall we commence?
We shall commence. One moment, please. Sir, you have a call waiting for you.
Sorry. Gentlemen, Eric, could you take over? I have to take this, so go ahead and take over for me. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hi, this is Alex from Vital Records. Is this Ian?
This is he.
I think you called or you submitted a request regarding your birth certificate.
That's correct.
Okay, and I guess from my understanding of the question?
I don't have any questions. You guys rejected my application saying that I filled it out incorrectly. It turns out, after checking with the supervisor today, turns out that there was no incorrect filling out of that application. I was very upset because I told these people I know how to read. I've been filling out applications for quite some time. Used to work for the federal government, so I know exactly what the words mean.
Okay, and what exactly are you trying to do?
I'm trying to do exactly what it says, amend the birth certificate. I hate those type of questions because it's kind of obvious that I'm filling out an amendment to the certificate of live birth. Are you familiar with the Age of Majority Act?
I'm sorry, what's the what?
The Age of Majority Act.
No, actually, I'm not.
Oh, my stars. 1971, California initiated an Age of Majority Act. Pretty much every state in the Union in about 1970 to 1972 did an Age of Majority Act. You guys are supposed to be following the Age of Majority Act, and that's very disturbing that you don't know that that's the reason why you have the amendment to the birth certificate application in the first place. And so I'm following the Age of Majority Act. My parents did not name me at birth. We have a religious custom in my family where 15 days after the birth is the child name. That's why there's no name on my birth certificate. Or you have a copy of the certificate in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. If you take a look at, I believe it's item number 1C, you see the name Branch. My parents did not authorize that. The number 2 indicates that that is the hospital putting the name Branch. My family never named me Branch or baby A, B, C, or D.
Okay.
That is the first thing. But they know this. They can see it on the certificate that in item number 6 for the mother, her last name is Branch. My father only had one name. They didn't put his name on there. They withheld it because he wouldn't give them a last name. Don't know why the hospital was being that way, but that's the way they were. So when I filled out the statement of corrections to birth, death, or fetal record, part 2 of the affidavit, I filled it out according to my statement, not according to the pre-written statement, because an affidavit cannot be pre-written. It has to be my words, not yours. So I put in the statements as to what the corrections were for. Apparently, they're saying in the instructions I wasn't supposed to do that. So I looked at the instructions, and nowhere in here does it tell me that I can't do that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out where they're saying I filled out something incorrectly. Oh, by the way, my mother died February 3rd, 2017, so she can't sign this again.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
Are you trying to add your first name to your birth certificate?
I'm trying to add my name. You guys are saying first name. I only have one name. I never had a last name. Branch has never been my name. I've never been called Branch a day in my life. Never.
Well, according, okay.
Yeah, no. Look at the number 2. No, look at the number 2. The hospital put that there. My parents never gave them that name. That was the name they got from the mother's last name. That's why they put it as a last name. Nobody gave that to them. Nobody authorized that. That's why they put the number 2 there to indicate they did it. My parents had a big, huge discussion with the hospital at the time.
Okay, well then looks like your mother did sign the
Yes.
certificate stating
And
she reviewed the above information.
no, she signed, you guys have her as an informant. My mother was never an informant. She was my mother, just as you just indicated. You have her listed as an informant. That was a pre-printed document that you put before her to sign. If you take a look at Branch, it has the number 2. That was the indication from the hospital that they placed that name there. Not that we gave that to them, but that was their choice. We never told them to do that as a family. No one gave them permission to say Branch. Who would name their child Branch?
Actually, that's the last name.
Exactly. So who would do that? Nobody would. That's why they put the number 2, saying that that was their code. That's not our code. That's a hand.
I'm sorry, but birth certificates starting from 1905. They're pretty much the same.
Sir, look at the number 2. You see that code right there? That was a local code for that hospital, indicating that they placed a name there. We never gave them that name.
Okay.
And you see where the father's name is, that 26 or something like that. I don't have the birth certificate in front of me. I pretty much remember it for the most part. But at number 7, there's a handwritten code there as well. That was the hospital indicating that they were not putting the name there. Not that my father was withholding the name because he was present. They were withholding the name. And I don't know if you've ever been to Los Angeles, but this is the games they play.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go on, I want you to understand something. He's saying because the hospital placed a name here, that is the name, that my mother agreed to that. I want you to pay attention to whether or not my mother agreed to anything. Take a look at the date my mother signs it. There is no date for the doctor for where he signs it. Okay? But my mother signs it 2 days after the birth. The so-called county register files it here, but the doctor doesn't indicate the date that he's signing it. So that everybody gets it, this was through a typewriter. My argument is that them adding anything here was done well after the date of birth. In other words, it was done after the mother signed it. Okay? So, what they're saying is because the mother signed it, and you notice it says, or other informant signature. She signs it as a parent. She doesn't sign it as an other informant. Date signed by informant. Okay, but you'll notice that he will mention informant. Informant! Anyway, I want you to pay attention. According to him, because the name is there, that this would be my father's first name and this would be my father's last name. So that my father's name is withheld and withheld. Now you're going to hear him mention that the name Branch that they put up there is the name. So let's continue to listen to this idiot.
So all I'm doing is having the birth certificate amended and having my name placed on there the correct way. Branch has never been my name.
Okay. Well, so if you want to remove Branch and put
I don't want to remove it. It shouldn't have been there. You need to tell me who gave authorization for that name to be there and that it was a name, and that number 2 doesn't indicate that that name was placed there by the hospital and that was their code. Because we've already proven it.
What he wants to do now is he wants to talk about changing the name, and the only way to change the name is to do an amendment. And I won't let him have that conversation. The moment he brings it up, I cut him off every single time. Why? Because he's already figured out in his head where he wants the conversation to go, and I've already figured out in my head it ain't going there.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, this is the official record.
I love the fact that you said official record. Let me ask you a question. Who gave authorization for you to officially place that name there?
The mother did sign.
The mother did not. My mother did not give permission for that. That's why she signed. Excuse me. My mother signed the affidavit. So please don't tell me my mother gave authorization. My mother is the one who signed the affidavit with me.
I'm looking at the certificate and she did sign it.
Excuse me. My mother, excuse me. Excuse me. My mother signed the affidavit I sent to you guys with me. So no, she did not give authorization for them. And that's why I told you the number 2 is there, showing she didn't give the authorization. The hospital did that.
Okay, so what exactly are you trying to, which item are you trying to change or correct?
Oh, I just need to have my name corrected. I only have one name. I don't have a last name. Never had a last name. My name has always been just Eon since the day I was named. Branch has never been my name.
Okay, so you're saying, if you understand correctly, you want to remove the branch from...
No, I need the affidavit. I need the birth certificate to be corrected. This was never the way it was supposed to be. Branch has never been my name. We never gave that to the hospital. We never gave that to the state. You say it's an official record, then somebody has falsified an official document, which is a felony. We don't want to go the route of official record, because somebody would have to prove that they had authorization to put Branch there for a last name, and that the family actually gave that to the hospital for the name of a baby. And nobody did. There is no logic on this planet that somebody's going to name their child Branch when it indicates it's the mother's last name. And then there's no record of any Branch being placed in school, receiving a social security number or anything like that. I've never gone by Branch. It's never been my name. And I let it go all of these years because I said no big deal. But now it's becoming a big deal. And so I'm doing exactly what the application allows me to do, is to make sure the record is corrected. So my name is Eon. I need my certificate, because it belongs to me, to reflect my name being Eon.
On item of 1A, correct?
No.
Is your first name?
No. You guys are doing, I only have one name. Let's make sure we understand that. By the time this is done, there will be no 2 names for me. I only have one name, have always had one name. Everybody calls me Eon. The courts call me Eon. My license call me Eon. Everything is Eon.
But on which item should it go? 1A, 1B, or 1C? That's my question.
1C.
Okay. So that's going to require a court.
No, because that name shouldn't have been there. Like I said, you guys made a mistake. We need to correct that mistake. Yeah?
We didn't.
Oh, yes, you did. Let me ask you a question. Who gave that name to you? Don't tell me the mother did, because then you'll be lying on my mother. So who gave that name? No, I just asked a question. It's a very good question. Who gave that name to the hospital to put there? And please don't tell me my mother did, because I've gone and seen so many situations where hospitals are naming baby A, baby C, baby B for children because they don't receive a name.
Yeah. And usually the hospital, if the parent's not available, the hospital will sign as the parent or the informant. But in this case... No. Sir? Please understand.
No, ladies and gentlemen, did you see? Usually, what happens there... Excuse me? Usually, what happens there... No, you didn't answer the question. You avoided responding to the question. This is their routine, ladies and gentlemen. Most people don't know this. Their job is to say as little as possible, to give non-responsive answers. Okay? But he said usually they'll do the baby A, baby B, baby C, and the hospital will sign as the informant in place of the parent. No. And if you look here, he's saying the informant certification certifies they reviewed it and it's true and correct. We're saying that that name was added after it was signed. We're saying that when the parent signed it, that name was not there. We're saying that they typed that name in later. Why? Because this was a typewriter. This wasn't a printer. They didn't give the parent a copy of this after they signed it. And I love the fact that this was back then. They can't argue with us. So, hold on. Let's continue letting this idiot talk.
Mother never gave them the name Branch. For the life of me, I guarantee you, my mother is not that, excuse me, when she was alive, was never stupid. Do you see that number 2? We've already checked with the local area. We did this several years ago, over 20. Please tell me what the number 2 stands for, because it's not on every birth certificate.
I don't know.
Interesting. Exactly. Indicating that they put that name there. That's why it's next to that name and next to no other name on that certificate. No other name has a number next to it. But
gentlemen, ladies, you see the number 2 here, and the number 2 here, and the number 2 here, written by the same person, affixed to the certificate afterwards, not before, afterwards. So how can anybody affirm that this is true and correct? Because according to this is part of the name, that number 2. According to them, that number 2 is part of the name. According to them. And according to him, since that name is there, this would be the father's name. And this would be the father's name. So, according to them, the last name should be withheld. And the first name of the father should be withheld. Interesting, ain't it? Let's continue.
that one. That's indicating that they placed that there. And they did it for the second parent, not the first. See, they didn't have a last name for the father to put there, so they put the last name of the mother there. Nobody gave them authorization to do that. That is just something they did. Nobody gave them authorization to do that. My father objected. That's why they withheld his name.
Okay. Well, the only, like I said, the only way to do it is with that order or name change.
Okay, no. No. Stop before you go on. Tell me where the law says that I need a court order.
You're changing the whole identity.
I'm not changing no identity. That was never my identity. You guys put that name there. We just had that conversation. So nobody gave them authorization to do that. My father objected. That's why they withheld.
I just want you guys to hear that again. So let's pay attention to what he says the person is changing.
His name.
Okay. Well, the only, like I said, the only way to do it is with that order or name change.
Okay, no. No. Stop before you go on. Tell me where the law says that I need a court order.
You're changing the whole identity.
I'm not.
You're changing the whole identity. We told you. Everything originates with the certificate of live birth. Everything. Now, what you all don't know is we were having our weekly commissioners meeting. And this individual called during that meeting. Normally I let it go to voicemail, but I knew that it was from the county registrar's office, or the state vital statistics office, and so I took the call. So this is in the midst of our 1 hour and 36-minute meeting. And this individual, I have the commission, they're having the meeting on hold while I'm handling this call with this idiot. But I knew that I would get information vital and necessary. Some of you who are paying attention to this know exactly what to do with this information. Know exactly how to handle your conversations with this information. I was very distressed by this call. Because I'm like, these fools are going to give me a hassle. No way in the world do they not know who I am? Do they not know about these videos? Do they not know? That's why they held on to the document for so long. Hold on.
Not changing no identity. That was never my identity. You guys put that name there. We just had that conversation. So tell me.
Our office did not do that.
Yes, your office did, because the hospital did this.
Hospital?
Yes, under your authority. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, there's.
Did you see that? He was saying we didn't do it. The hospital did it, and I said, hold on. Yes, you did. The hospital did it under your authority. It's signed by the Registrar's office, which is through that vital statistics office. So yes, they did it under the authority of this organization that I'm talking to. He's not talking to an idiot, everyone. I don't play the word game. I'm very, very, very keen as to how they operate. They use words to trap you. They use words to lock you in. So I correct him. I rebut his stupid presumption every single step of the way, which is why he's having a difficult time with the conversation. He can't take control. He waited until 5:40 in the evening to call because he had to prepare for the call. He wanted to do it at the last part of the day because he had to make sure that he was in control. He had a chance to prepare to talk to me. What he doesn't know is I've had more than a chance to prepare to talk to him.
No.
California does have health and safety codes that
Excuse me?
have to abide by.
Yes, and there was not.
Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to what he's saying. This involves health and safety codes. What does a birth certificate have to do with health and safety codes? One of the members on the commission pulled up the code for Texas, and while this is going to continue, I'm going to remain quiet. I'm going to find that code for Texas. He sent it to me, and I don't know if he sent it to me in PDF form, but I'll try to find that code while you guys are listening to the rest of this. So I'll try to find that code while you guys listen.
Thing that gave the hospital any authority to place a name on that certificate without getting the approval of the parent, and no parent approved for that name to be there. Remember, my mother signed the affidavit with me. That's why her signature was so important. Nobody.
It looks like on the official record, your mother did sign that.
No, you keep saying official record. That's not official. You guys created that record. That's not an official record. We had nothing to do with that record. We didn't type that up.
Going in circles here.
No, we are going in circles because you chose to do that. I asked you again who gave them the authority to put that name there. And you're calling me and my mother a liar.
Name change. There's nothing more I can say.
Okay, then why are you calling me wasting my time when you already knew what the conversation was going to be about? So let me tell you what we're going to do.
You know what we can and cannot do.
No, let me tell you what we're going to do, because you didn't reject it because of that. You rejected it because you said I filled the application out wrong. Now tell me I'm incorrect.
Well, first, yes, that's why it was rejected.
Okay.
That's why I'm calling together.
Tell me where the restrictions are on that. Let's do that. Where are the restrictions for the fact that a person can't do that?
Because it changes the whole.
I didn't ask what it changed. I said where are the restrictions that a person can't do that? That was my question. I'm very specific in my question. Since you guys want to be so specific in your carrying out of your mandate, let's get specific.
Okay, so amendments, the form that you completed, the VS-20.
No amendments. There are no amendments here. Nobody amended anything. Go ahead and take a look. There are no amendments to this form. We're asking for amendment.
Okay.
By the way, this is an affidavit. So this becomes mine. Once I start affixing my signature and my words to it, it becomes my words, not yours. So you cannot dictate what words I add to it. This is an affidavit. And according to this, sir,
health and safety code that everybody needs to follow.
It says, and I am following the health and safety codes. Pay attention. I'm talking about the age of majority. Told you it's the Age of Majority Act for the state of California. You already told me you didn't know about it, but I'm being very specific with this application.
That has nothing to do with our office.
Excuse me, it does have everything to do with your office. Whoa, wait, what the are you talking about? This is a birth certificate. Of course it has something to do. With your office. You just told me, how can you do that? Why do people treat me as if I'm stupid? You just sat up here and told me you didn't even know about the Age of Majority Act, and now you're going to sit up here and tell me it has nothing to do with you? How can you sit up there and claim ignorance and then at the same time claim to be an expert?
We have laws and rules.
Exactly. And are you telling me what law does this violate is what I asked you, and you still haven't answered my question. Like I said, why do people treat me as if I'm the stupid one?
No, actually, to change it, you need to do a photo name change.
Oh, no. We left that alone. You're talking about a different subject. We're going to leave it that way. We're going to keep it at branch. We're going to have this thing amended for an adult, no longer being a child. Okay? We're going to do the Age of Majority Act. We're going to leave it at branch. No, hold on. You guys want to play. I want to play. I don't give up about 1967. We're not talking about 1967. We're talking about today. I'm not a child anymore. This is my certificate. I am the owner of this document. You're just a custodian of record.
He's going to hang up in a minute.
I am an adult today. Age of Majority Act says that I have the right to have it amended. That's why you have the amendment application. That's why your application is an affidavit, because the Age of Majority Act requires it to be an affidavit. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So let's continue. Look at item, if you don't mind. Item number, on the first page, it would be item number 6, the full name of the mother. You see that nice little section right there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay. Do you see where item number 6 there doesn't say 6A, 6B, 6C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know that your people told me when I marked down in part number 2 and I put number 6 and I put the mother's full name, they told me that I didn't put 6A, 6B, 6C because you didn't put it there. If you don't have to do it, I don't have to do it. And I just need to see where in the instructions it says that I have to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, they got technical. What they said is because on the certificate of live birth, because when I did for changing, they're saying I was supposed to put 6A, 6B, 6C for the mother. What I told them is, look here, you ignorant mother, because that's why I told them I know how to fill out an application. Information as it appears on the original record, and they do full name, no 6A, 6B, 6C. They did that to save space. But here, they're telling me that I was supposed to put 6A, 6B, 6C. They didn't do it. I don't have to do it. Okay? Hold on. Let's get back to the conversation. So, look, I just wanted y'all to know what I was talking about.
Because you didn't do it. I love people getting technical, so I want to be technical.
Well, we did.
You didn't put 6A, 6B, 6C in number 6, but they told me because I didn't put 6A, 6B, 6C, and I only did it for 1A, 1B, 1C, and I didn't do it for 6A, 6B, 6C. Because I didn't do that, I was supposed to specify 6A, 6B, 6C. Excuse me? No, because you didn't specify 6A, 6B, 6C. I followed the exact same format you all followed. But they told me that that was one of their other gripes for not filling it out correctly.
Well, that's because Part 1 is actually information to locate the
It's
record.
okay. Part 1, Part B, Part C. Again, Part 1 has everything to do with Part 2. Or am I presuming and assuming the wrong thing?
Information to locate the record.
Yes, Part 1.
Hey guys, I created my own word, presuming. Sorry. I was supposed to be saying presuming, but presuming, hey, my own word, I do that from time to time. And basically what I told him is Part 1, this is Part 1 up here. I told him Part 1 has everything to do with Part 2. Without Part 1, Part 2 cannot be completed. So since Part 1 up here doesn't say 6A, 6B, 6C, and I'm going off of Part 1, the only one that says 1A, 1, 2, 1, I can do the same thing. That's what I was telling the idiot. Okay, there we go. Let's get back to the conversation.
The actual which items are going to be corrected.
No, Part 1.
Taken from the 6A, B, and C.
Part 1 is not to look up the record. That's what the registration number is for. Part 1 specifically says information as it appears on the original record. It's not to look at the record. It's putting down the information as it appears on the original record. And you specifically...
Information to locate the record.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But take a look at item number 6 at Part 1. It doesn't say first, second, and last name. It says complete name as it is on the original record. The full name. It doesn't break it down A, B, and C. We'll take a look at the original record. That's 6A, 6B, 6C. So no, you guys didn't put 6A, 6B, 6C. I put down the full name. Just like I put down my father's full name. Oh, by the way, according to you, my father's name is withheld. My father was not called withheld a day of his life. He never signed his name withheld. But according to you, that's his name because that's the official record. I wish people would stop playing games like this with me. I'm only trying to get this document to reflect who I am at current. So if you want to harp on the name Branch, we'll leave it at Branch. But the record will have to reflect that I am an adult, not a child.
Okay, well, unfortunately, that can't change because...
Okay, then we need to escalate this. We need to escalate this to the director's office. I am doing an administrative appeal. We need to escalate this. And I don't give up about 1967. I'm not talking to you about 1967. I'm amending the record to reflect what the reality is today. This is my record, not yours. It doesn't matter what you understand.
I never said it was mine.
It doesn't matter what you understand. I'm not asking you for your opinion. If you can show me a statute or a law,
I'm going to terminate the call. You have a great day.
if you're going to show me a statute or a law that prohibits this,